Good evening friends, this is Professor Vishal and we already started to solve our practice set 3.4, that is from circle chapter of 10th standard SSC board. Okay, so that is from geometry section. Okay, now in this session we are going to solve remaining problems of the practice set. Okay, I think we solved question number 1, 2 and 3 in first session of our lecture, that is we solved these three problems. So they are quite interesting, so it needs the basics of inscribed angle theorem and all such basics which we have studied in theory portion, isn't it? So in today's lecture, from today's lecture we are going to start question number 4. Okay, and we almost we tried to finish this practice set. So total 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th and 8th 5 questions are remaining. So they are quite interesting. They are easy problems based on the previous theorems. Okay, only the thing is what we have to initiate this. Okay, now let us start this. We are going to start our question number 4th. So this is we are going to start with this question number 4. Okay, so in question number 4, if you observe here, a diagram is given. Okay, so in which segment RS is a diameter of the circle. So segment RS is the diameter, which is the biggest chord of the circle, which is given whose center is point circle of the center of the circle is O. Point T lies in the exterior of the circle. If we see the point T here, it is outside the circle, isn't it? So this point T lies in the exterior of the circle. We have to prove that this angle RTS is an acute angle. Okay, so RTS angle is an acute angle. It seems to be it is necessary that we have to draw some or we have to do some construction in this diagram. Okay, so let us start this solution of this question. Okay, it is given that circle is given whose diameter is RS passing through center O, and point T is exterior of the circle. Point T is at the exterior. I will join this point T with R. I just combine these three lines. Actually it should be like this, it is not like this. Okay, so it is cut at this point. Okay, so point T and S I will join, and then I will join R and T. So I will get this type of construction. Okay, now what I will do, I will just draw this line also, isn't it? So instead of using black shade, I am going to draw, or with this same shade I am going to draw this line. Okay, so that I will get this triangle RPS. Okay, now see, in this diagram I have to construct RT TS. I am drawing, I am going to draw the RT TS, these lines RT TS and RS. Okay, this this RS, which is already given. Okay, or we can say PS, our construction is PS, isn't it? So in this way, after doing construction, RS is the diameter of circle, which is given in your problem. Okay, as we know that angle inscribed in a semicircle is a right angle. So according to that, this angle P, or we can say, as we know that angle inscribed in a semicircle is a right angle, isn't it? So this RPS is this portion is a semicircle, isn't it? I am discussing about this portion, isn't it? So this portion is a semicircle, and angle drawn inside the, or angle inscribed in the semicircle is a right angle triangle. So therefore I can write this angle RPS equal to 90 degree. I am giving this as equation number 1. Okay, now this angle RPS is the exterior angle of triangle PTS. Okay, I am discussing about this triangle, that is triangle PTS. In triangle PTS, if we see, this angle RPS is exterior angle for this triangle, isn't it? Angle RPS is exterior angle, we can say, isn't it? So therefore I can write this angle RPS equal to angle PTS, see, while I am writing down this angle, you just have to carefully observe the diagram. Okay, so I am discussing about this angle PTS and angle TSP. angle TSP. Okay, I am discussing about these two angles. Okay, so this RPS equal to these two angles, addition of these two angles. Okay, then if we see this angle RPS, which is equal to angle PTS, can be written as RTS, isn't it? So because these 3 points are collinear, and angle TSP can be written as it is, that is angle TSP. Okay, only the thing is that instead of PTS I am going to write RTS. Okay, so we can see here. Okay, I can write this angle RPS equal to angle RTS plus angle TSP. If we see this addition, that is angle RTS plus angle TSP is 90 degree, isn't it? So we can say that if this addition is 90 degree, this angle RTS must be less than 90 degree, isn't it? If addition is 90 degree, this angle must be less than 90 degree, and if this is 90 degree less than 90 degree, we can say that RTS is acute angle, and that is what we have to prove, isn't it? So in this way we can easily I just repeat, I draw some construction here, RT and TS, I will join them, then PS, these three lines gets joined, then I just use this principle, that is angle inscribed in semicircle is right angle triangle. So RPS I will get as a 90 degree, then I make RPS is the exterior angle of this triangle PTS, then I will write angle RPS equal to angle PTS, sorry, angle RPS equal to angle PTS plus TSP, and PTS can be written as RTS, isn't it? So which is both angles are equal, or they are, these 3 points RP and T are collinear. So I can write this 90 degree RPS is given in your equation 1 and RTS plus angle TSP. But if you see, if the angle addition of these two angle is a 90 degree, if the addition of these two angle is a 90 degree, this angle RTS must be less than 90. Okay, by adding these two angles we will get 90 degree. If we calculate angle RTS, it must be less than 90, and if it is less than 90 or any angle less than 90, we call it as a acute angle. So in this way you can easily solve this problem. Okay, so I hope you will understand it. Now we will proceed for next problem. So we have finished this problem. Okay, only the thing is that we have to prove angle, draw some construction, and we have to prove that addition of these two angle is 90 degree, then one of the angle is less than 90. Less than 90 means it is acute angle. Okay, now we will solve our next problem. It is quite interesting, that is problem number 5. Here we have to prove that any rectangle is a cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, so now we have to prove any rectangle as a cyclic quadrilateral. So I will use, sorry, we will use next page. Here I am going to consider, I am going to draw a rectangle, let us see. Okay, then latest I will name it as a point A, this is a point B, this is point C, and this is point D. Okay, sorry, again I will redraw it. This is A, B, C and D, and we have to prove that this rectangle is cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, so considering this quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle. Okay, now if this is a rectangle, if quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle, then we can say that angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D, which is equal to 360 degree according to the addition of each angle is 90 degree in case of rectangle, so it must be 360 degree, isn't it? Then we can write that angle A plus angle C, angle A is a 90 and angle C is also 90, which is equal to 180 degree. So I will give this as equation number 1. Okay, similarly if I will consider angle B plus angle D, I am going to simply add these angles. Again angle B is a 90 degree and angle D is a 90 degree if it is a rectangle, isn't it? So again this addition will be 180. I am giving this as equation number 2. Okay, now from these two equations, or let us say this is your equation 1 and this is your equation 2. Okay, I am just adding these angles, angle A, or sorry, I can write it as 90 degree angle because all are 90 degree angles in case of rectangle. Okay, so angle A and angle C is a 180. Similarly angle B and angle D is a 180. I am giving this as a equation number 1 and 2. Okay, now from equation 1 and 2, what I can say, from equation 1 and 2 I can write if you see these angles, angle A and angle C as well as angle B and angle D, they are opposite angles of the rectangle ABCD and it is 180 degree, isn't it? Angle A plus angle C is a 180 as well as angle B plus angle D is also 180. So we can say that in this case opposite angles of a rectangle ABCD, opposite angles of a rectangle ABCD are supplementary, and if as per the theorem opposite angle of a rectangle ABCD is a supplementary, then that rectangle is, we called it as a cyclic quadrilateral. Therefore we can write this rectangle ABCD is cyclic quadrilateral, isn't it? So this thing is necessary. Based on these two equations we can easily prove that this rectangle is a cyclic quadrilateral, provided that the property of cyclic quadrilateral we must know. Okay, what it property says, if opposite angle of a rectangle ABCD are supplementary, then that rectangle is a cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, so this is most easiest question what we can say. Okay, out of this practice set, this is most easiest. We must know only one property and we will get our answer in an easy way. Okay, now we will see next question, that is question number 6. Okay, so in this question a diagram is given here and altitude yz and xt, here altitudes are given yz and xt of triangle wxy, of this particular triangle, major triangle wxy, outer triangle, intersect at point P, means these two altitudes intersect at this point. Okay, sorry, they will intersect at this point, isn't it? So we have to prove that this quadrilateral WZPT, I am discussing about this quadrilateral WZP and T. So this quadrilateral, so this quadrilateral is a cyclic. Okay, now as we already seen in this previous question, if it is cyclic, what is the condition? Their opposite angles must be supplementary, isn't it? Then we can say that it is a quadrilateral. We will prove it again. Then second thing which we have to prove here is points x, z, t and y are concyclic, isn't it? These 4 points w, x, z, t and y are concyclic. Okay, then we will start our answer. We will just redraw this diagram. Here we will use next page. So this type of triangle is given here and these two altitudes are drawn here. Okay, this is your first altitude xt and this is your second altitude zy, and this w is given. Okay, now but first thing we have to prove that this quadrilateral, this wzex, WZPT. So here point P is there. Okay, I forget to write here. This is point P. So I have to prove that this WZP and WZPT is a cyclic quadrilateral, and second XZTY are concyclic. Okay, so we will see. If we see this quadrilateral WZPT, which I mark again, I will cancel it out. So I'm discussing about this for quadrilateral WZPT. Okay, these two angles, angle WZP plus angle WTP. Okay, I am discussing about this angle WZP and WTP. There WZP is also 90 degree and WTP is also 90 degree. So we can write it as a 180 degree, because just a minute. So this equation is a equation number 1. Okay, why it is 90 degree? Because see, the altitude YZ and XT are given here, and altitude cut this line at it will create 90 degree angle here, isn't it? So these two angles are 90 degree respectively, and these two angles are 90 degree, so it becomes 180. So I am giving this as a equation number 1. Okay, now if we see this complete quadrilateral, I can write here angle, sorry, I am discussing about this angle WZP plus angle WTP plus angle ZWT plus angle ZPT, which is equal to 360 degree, isn't it? If this is a quadrilateral, angle is total angle is 360 degree, isn't it? So out of which, if we see these two angle, it is 180 degree as per the equation 1. So I can write, sorry, I can use this pen again. Erase it again select this pen. Okay, so that it will be smooth. So this angle is 180, isn't it? So I can write this angle ZWT plus angle, or I can use this on next page, so it will be convenient for us. So I just put the value of this angle from equation 1, and I can write it as a 180 plus angle ZWT plus angle ZPT, okay, which is equal to 360. Now if we see, I can calculate this angle ZWT plus angle ZPT, which is equal to, I can write here, which is equal to, I just have to subtract 360 minus 180, isn't it? So I will get this answer as a 180. I am giving this as equation number 2. Now if we see these two angles, angle that is angle ZWT and angle ZPT, ZWT, so this angle, and ZPT, so this angle, this is also 180. So from equation 1 and 2 we can say that all the these are opposite angles, that is angle WZP and WTP 180 degree, so they are opposite angles, as well as angle ZWT and angle ZWP, this is also 180 degree from equation 2. So from equation 1 and 2 we can write that this quadrilateral WZPT is cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, because opposite angles of rectangle is opposite angle of quadrilateral WZPT are supplementary, then that quadrilateral is called as, is become cyclic. So according to that, from equation 1 and 2 we can easily say that this quadrilateral WZPT is a cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, so out of these two proofs we have already completed our first proof. Okay, now we move towards our next proof. So we have to prove that these 4 points x, z, t and y are concyclic. Okay, now see, okay, for second proof, if we see that in this diagram, so I am discussing about this diagram, x, y, this point x and point y subtends equal angle at point z and t respectively. X subtends angle 90-degree angle at t and y subtends 90-degree angle at z. Okay, so we can say that these two angles, that is angle xzp and angle xpy. So I am discussing about, I can write here directly. Therefore angle, we can say that angle xzp is equal to angle xpy. Okay, because if 2 points subtends equal angle at 2 distinct points, isn't it? So this x and y, it subtends equal angle at points z and t, that is 90-degree angle, which lie on the same side of the line, isn't it? They are lying on the same side of the line xy. So we can say that then these 4 points are concyclic. Are you got it? So if 2 points subtends equal angle at 2 distinct points, here these 2 points x and y subtends equal angle at 2 distinct points, means at point z and at point t it subtends equal angle, that is 90-degree angle, isn't it? And which are lie on the one side of the line, that is on the one side of the line, that is on the one side of xy, isn't it? Then we can say that these 4 points, that is x, z, t and y are concyclic, isn't it? So in this way you can easily prove the second question also. So if we see this sixth question, this is too much easy. Only we have to know that this theorem, that opposite angles of rectangle ABCD are supplementary, then that rectangle or quadrilateral is a cyclic. And second, if 2 points subtends the equal angle at 2 distinct points which are lie on this one side of the line, then these 4 points are concyclic. So according to that theorem, these 4 points x, z, t and y are concyclic. So that is what we have to prove here. Okay, now we will move towards our next question. So we will discuss about the 7th question right now. So in 7th question, if we see, the diagram is given and measurement of arc NS is given as 125 degree, whereas measurement of arc EF is given as 37 degree. Okay, and we have to find, means what, these two arcs measurement is given. NS is also given and EF, the small arc, it is also given. NS is given as 125 degree, EF is given as 37 degree. Okay, so we have to find this angle NMS, means we have to find out this angle, this complete angle. Okay, so I am discussing about this angle or angle M simply. Okay, got it? So now for which we use this diagram again, we will use next page here. This is your question number 7. Okay, so circle is shown here. A circle is drawn here and point M is the exterior point of the circle. Okay, this is your point M and this is your point N and S and this is your E and F. Okay, so if we see in this problem, this measurement of arc NS is given as 125 degree. I am discussing about this arc. Okay, similarly measurement of arc EF is also given, that is 37 degree. This arc particularly. Okay, the small arc. So these arcs are given and we have to find out the angle NMS. Okay, so if we see the inscribed angle or the if two points are exterior, M is one of the point is exterior and we have to find out that angle. I can directly write here angle NMS equal to half of measurement of arc NS minus half measurement of arc EF, isn't it? Means I will half this arc and subtract from half a portion of this arc, I will get that angle. Okay, now we will see this. We can also write it as an angle NMS. Half is common here, we just have to write measurement of arc NS minus measurement of arc EF, isn't it? So we will close this bracket. Now both values are with us, that is half as it is. Measurement of arc NS is given as 125, which is already given in a question, and EF is also given, that is 37. Okay, so I can close this bracket, and if I will solve it, I will get this is 15 minus 7, it is 8, then 11 minus 3, it is 8, 0, so it is 88. So 2 4s are 8 and 2 4s are 8. I will get this angle NMS as 44 degree, isn't it? And this is what we have to find out. Very simple question, isn't it? Only the thing is that we have to know this theorem, isn't it? Angle inscribed by arc is difference between half of portion of that arc, isn't it? Based on this theorem I can write this statement and put the value. I just common the half, common out the half, draw out common portion half, and arc NS minus arc EF, both values are given. After putting the values and simplification, I will get answer as a 44 degree. Angle NMS is 44 degree. Okay, now we are going to see next question of this exercise, that is question number 8. Okay, which is quite interesting question. We need some basic ideas about the circle in order to solve this problem. Okay, now one thing I want to clear you with all, that most of the times what student do, they thought that circle is there, chapter number 3 is there, and I'm going to start this chapter and within 2 days I'm going to finish this chapter. So this chapter is not like that. Okay, so if you are doing study within 2 days for this chapter, so it is not like that. Okay, for what will happen then, so you will not able to thoroughly understand this chapter. Okay, let me clear first. In order to solve each and every question, or in order to if you want to get full marks from this chapter, the thing we have to do is stepwise solve the questions. Okay, let us see, daily I will suggest you daily just study 2 theorems and solve the problems on that theorem. But rest of the day you didn't you need not to do even theorem number 3. Okay, so that is what the expectation, if you do in study in such a way that you will get full marks from this chapter. Okay, if you are doing within 2 days, there will be lot of confusion, I will tell you, lot of confusion will be there, and you are not able to solve the questions from this chapter in your final examination. Okay, so my suggestion to you all is that solve this at least 2 theorem in a day and just solve problem based on that, and stop at that position for at least for this chapter, because this chapter is the longest chapter from your geometry section or even math also, we can say. Okay, now we will see the next question, that is question number 8, which is quite interesting. So it needs some basic information to solve this problem. So here if we see, figure is given and we have to say that chord, here it is given that chord AC and DE intersect at point B. Here these two chords will intersect at point B. Okay, angle AB is given as 108 degree. This AB angle is given as 108 degree, and measurement of arc AE, so this arc, it is also given as 95 degree, and we have to find out the measurement of arc DC, means we have to find out this arc. Okay, now let us see how to solve this problem. Now I will suggest we will continue this problem in our next session. Okay, up to this we have seen 7 problems, only the problem is remaining, and 8th problem is remaining, and we are going to solve this 8th problem in our next session. Okay, I will continue it. Thank you.